Hi, and in this video, I'll show you how to model this part in Onshape. Onshape is a 3D CAD system that runs in your web browser, and to launch Onshape, you do not need powerful hardware. You just need a stable internet connection, and you can use Onshape even on less powerful devices. If you can run a web browser, there's a good chance you'll be able to run Onshape as well. And if you want to try out Onshape, then in the description, I am including a link to Onshape. Alright, now we'll move on to Onshape and I'll show you how to create this part in that system. I won't go into detail about every operation, I'll just show you how to design this part. We'll start here by creating a sketch on the top plane. I select this plane and choose to create a sketch. I right-click and select View Normal to Sketch Plane. This way, I'm set to the normal view to the sketch plane. I'll turn off the visibility of the other coordinate system planes, and here I'll start by creating a rectangle whose center point will be at the origin of the coordinate system, and I'll make a rectangle with dimensions, for example, 200 by 80 millimeters. Okay. I confirm the sketch, and based on this sketch, I'll create a solid with a height of 10 millimeters. Okay, and by the way, for navigation, I'm using a Space Mouse device from 3D Connection, and in the description below this video, I'm also including a link to this device. I'm using the basic version of the Space Mouse, which allows for such smooth navigation. And okay, now I'll move on to creating additional features of this solid. Now I'll create holes in the corners of this solid, and I'll do it in such a way that I'll make one hole based on a sketch. I press the N key to switch to the normal view of the sketch plane and draw a circle with a diameter of 10 millimeters. I select dimensioning and set the distances from the hole to the edges of the solid to 10 millimeters in both directions. Okay, I accept this, and based on this circle, I will create a hole in the solid. We also do this using the extrude operation, and here I select through all and remove material, then accept this operation. And now I will create copies of these holes in the remaining corners of the solid, and I'll do this using the mirror operation. I select this operation, and here I choose the features. For the mirror, I indicate the feature and specify the plane for the mirror operation. I select the front plane and accept this operation. Now, we move on to the next operation, which is mirror. Here, I choose the option to mirror features, and I carefully select these two features, specify the mirror plane, and then accept this operation. I turn off the visibility of these planes, and now I select this face and choose the option to create a sketch, and I press the N key to switch to the normal view to the sketch plane. Next, I select the rectangle drawing tool and draw a rectangle where the first corner will be linked to the edge of the solid and the second corner will also be linked to the other edge of the solid. Now we'll set this dimension, and notice that when I move the cursor near the dimension, the field becomes active and I can enter the value here. And for this dimension, I enter 15 millimeters. Okay, I press escape to end the rectangle drawing command and I select dimensioning, mark this point, mark the corner of the solid, and here I enter 20 millimeters. I'll change this dimension to 25. Okay. I accept the sketch and now I'll create an extrusion. Based on this area, I select this region, choose the extrusion operation, and here I'll create an extrusion to 45 millimeters. I accept it, and in this way, we have another part of the solid shape. As you can see here, note that these faces are slanted. And we'll create this slant using the draft operation. Select this operation, and here we indicate the neutral plane. I select this plane, and then I indicate the faces to be drafted. I select this face, I select this face. Here we set the angle, set the value to 3 degrees, accept it, and now we have slanted faces. Okay, now we'll move on to creating the next feature. I select this face, choose to create a sketch, and switch to the normal view to the sketch plane. Here, I'll create a circle in such a way that the center of the circle is aligned with the origin point of the coordinate system. I hover over this point. Here, an auxiliary line appears, and when this line is active, I click the left mouse button, then click the left mouse button again to set the position of the second point. Here, I enter 45 millimeters as the diameter of the circle. Next, I select dimensioning to specify the distance from the center point of the circle to the origin of the coordinate system, and here I enter 25 millimeters as the distance. We confirm the selection, and based on this area, we will create an extrusion of 50 millimeters. And here we check the draft option to set the angle, and we set the extrusion angle to 3 degrees, but we click this button so that the angle is applied in this direction, and we confirm the selection. Okay, now I'll go into editing this sketch, because the gap between these elements here is too small. And as for this part, the dimensions of this section are not important. The purpose of these videos is to show how you can simply create such a part, but I'm going to slightly edit the position of this feature, which is why I'm going into editing this sketch. I double click here with the left mouse button, and I'll change this dimension from 25 to, for example, 10 millimeters, and I confirm the selection. Okay. And now we'll move on to creating the next feature. I select this face, choose to create a sketch, press the N key, and I'll create another circle so that the center of the circle is aligned with the origin point of the coordinate system. And I'll make this circle with a diameter of 40 millimeters. Now I select dimensioning and set the distance from the center point of the circle to the origin of the coordinate system to 50 millimeters. I accept this, and based on this area, I will add another feature using the extrude operation. Here, I set the height of this part of the solid to 35 millimeters. And just like before, I select the draft option and create an extrusion at an angle. As for this particular part of the solid, we couldn't really use the draft option here, because that option would also end up tilting the side walls, which is something we definitely wanted to avoid. And in this particular case, we don't want to add any tilt to the side walls. Okay, I accept this feature, and now we have something like this. And now we'll add more features. Step by step, we'll also be creating more parts of the solid, so I'm creating another sketch on this face, and here we'll create additional features. So I select the rectangle drawing command and draw a rectangle in such a way that the center of the rectangle is aligned with the origin point of the coordinate system. As for the longer dimension, at this point it's not important, but for the shorter dimension, I enter 10 millimeters here. So in Onshape, we can work in such a way that we create a sketch, then create a feature based on that sketch, then create another sketch and another feature. But we can also create sketches of several parts of the solid in a single sketch, and then use individual parts of the sketch for different operations. Now I'll show you how this can be done. I'll simply create additional sketches for the next parts of the solid, and we'll use a single sketch for 3 extrusion operations. I'm just creating more rectangles. Okay, and let's do the next rectangle, but here we'll set the length of this side to 20 millimeters. Okay, the length of the second side remains 10. It was set automatically because while drawing the rectangle, I hovered the cursor over this spot, and an automatic constraint was applied here, making the length of this shorter side of the rectangle the same as those of the other rectangles. To cancel the rectangle drawing command. Now I select the coincidence constraint, and I'll set a coincidence between this point and this edge of the solid, and we'll do the same with the remaining points. We set the coincidence as if it is between this top edge, because based on these sketches, we will create an extrusion. If we make these rectangles so that these points precisely coincide with this edge, then when we create the extrusion to a height that is less than the height of these features, the extrusion will be created correctly. Okay, here I press Ctrl-Z because the position of this corner was linked to this edge, but at this spot. That wouldn't cause any problems. We would still get a correct feature. But I'll do it this way. I'll move this point a bit, select the coincident constraint again, and add the coincidence at this spot. And okay, we have this sketch, and based on this sketch, we'll create 3 extrusion operations. I accept this sketch, and here's how we do it. I select the extrude operation. Here I mark the areas based on which I want to create an extrusion, but as you can see, only this area has been selected, and based on this area, it won't be done correctly. That's why I temporarily turn off the visibility of the solid and select the other parts of this rectangle. Now I turn the visibility of the solid back on, and here, yes, I switch to the Add option, so as to create another part of the solid that will be connected with the previous part of the solid. By default, the new option was selected here, and if we left it like that, a new solid would simply be created based on this sketch. Next, we set the extrusion length to 40 millimeters, accept it, and we have another part of the solid. And now we'll add more extrusions, but as you can see, the sketch is invisible. And to select this sketch, we simply need to enable the sketch's visibility. And now I'll turn off the visibility of the solid, select the areas based on which I want to create the next part of the solid. Okay, I choose the extrude operation, and here we create an extrusion of 30 millimeters. Okay, here the add option is selected, we accept it, and we have another part of the solid, and then we select these areas. We select the extrude operation, turn on the visibility of the solid, and switch to the add option, and here the height is 20 millimeters. I press enter and accept, and we get something like this. I turn off the visibility of the sketch, and we have created 3 extrusion operations based on a single sketch. Okay, now we will create holes in these parts of the solid. We'll start by creating a hole in this spot, and we'll make the hole based on a sketch. I select this face and choose to create a sketch. I press the N key to switch to the top view of the sketch plane, and I select the circle drawing tool. And here I'm looking for the midpoint of this edge of the solid. When that point is active, I click the left mouse button and then click again to set the position of the second point. For the diameter of the circle, I enter 30 millimeters, and here I'll immediately create a second circle with a diameter of 20 millimeters. I accept, and now here's what we do. Based on this single sketch, we'll create 2 holes. The first hole, the smaller one, we'll make as a through hole. I select this hole, choose the extrude operation, switch to the remove option, and here I select through all, then click OK. OK, and now we have a through hole. Next, I turn on the visibility of this sketch, select this area, choose the extrude operation, remove, and here set the depth to 15 millimeters and accept. And that's how we created these holes. I turn off the visibility of the sketch, and we do the same thing in this spot. We create a new sketch. I draw 2 circles. The first circle has a diameter of 30 millimeters, and the second circle has a diameter of 20 millimeters. I accept. And just like before, the first is a through hole. Okay. I turn on the visibility of the sketch and select the area based on which I'll create the second hole to a depth of 15 millimeters. I accept and turn off the visibility of the sketch, and now we have something like this. And now we'll go ahead and add some edge roundings. We select the fillet command and then indicate the edges that need to be rounded. We'll add the same radii everywhere here, so I just carefully select all the edges that need to be rounded. Simply clicking on these edges with the left mouse button, one after another, ensures that each edge is included. We click OK and the fillets have been added. And now we'll add chamfers. I select the chamfer operation, and first we'll add chamfers to the corners of the solid. We simply indicate the corners and specify the chamfer dimension. OK, and now we'll add chamfers with a different dimension. I select the chamfer operation, set the chamfer dimension to 1 millimeter, and indicate this face. This face and this edge, and I accept this operation. And okay, that's how we can create such a solid in Onshape. Of course, this is just one of several ways to create this part, but here I wanted to show you this particular method, step by step. And that's where we'll finish. Thank you for your attention, and I also encourage you to subscribe to this channel.